Hello everyone, my name is Briar, and I don't normally make commentary videos. This is actually my first one. But 2 hours ago, I got a bombshell dropped on me, and I feel like I'm qualified to talk about this subject because it's very important to me as a digital illustrator who's currently in college pursuing an animation degree. Clip Studio Paint is a piece of digital illustration software developed by Celsius, a Japanese graphics software company. While originally known for its focus on comic making, as indicated by its original title, Manga Studio 5, it has spent the past multiple years expanding far beyond that and even tapping into things like animation. Listen folks, I'm no stranger to this program. After begging my parents for digital art supplies as a kid, I woke up to a Wacom Bamboo tablet and Manga Studio 5 on Christmas of 2013. For well over 8 years, I have taught myself everything there is to know about this software. I was 11 then, and now I'm almost 21. I've watched it grow just as much as it's watched me grow. I truly believe that it is one of the best and knocks every other Adobe Suite alternative out the water. One of its most drawing features when looking for alternatives is that you don't have to worry about a subscription fee if you're using it on the computer. At least, that's how it's been the last 10 years. 2 hours ago from the time of writing this script, the official Clip Studio Paint Twitter made an announcement that starting 2023, updating the software will no longer be free. There's a lot to unpack here. First, let's look at what we know. First of all, if you're already a subscription customer, there will be no changes for you. In fact, there may even be a bright side. Celsius is supposedly adding a slew of new features for Clip Studio Paint 2.0. Assuming the subscription price stays the same, you will likely not be affected in any negative way. However, if you have the one-time purchase, the price you paid for it will have finally stretched as far as it will go come December of this year. In order to access any updates beyond that point, you'll need to purchase an update pass. This is an annual subscription to continue using the features beyond 1.x. This means that if you end your Update Pass subscription, you will be bounced all the way back to this point in terms of software capability. At least, that's what the website implies currently. Now, what do I think of it? Honestly, I'm disappointed. For years, I have recommended this program to people because I truly believe it is one of the best, as I said earlier. I recommended it to those who were ready to put in the money to upgrade to a more professional software with more capabilities. They left free programs like Metabang, a program that can do pretty much everything they need just fine, just so they could pursue this software because of the promise it had. I always advertised it as having wonderful updates that brought new features to the table, as well as the option to avoid subscriptions like other graphic softwares push. If they go through with this, I certainly don't doubt that these wonderful updates will continue to come out, but that's not what they were promised.
And yeah, it's not like you won't be able to use the program after 1.x. You'll still be able to use it whether you subscribe or not, but you'll be stuck with that version that they have already stated that after 3.0 releases, they will no longer be supporting it. That includes stability updates, tech support, and bug fixes.
While this isn't as bad as programs like Adobe, it does sting that knowing the 2 full copies of perpetual iOS subscription I have is no longer enough. Not only that, but this poses a serious problem for the future. For example, back in 2017, I updated my computer. Slowly after that, I noticed Clip Studio Paint getting worse and worse. It would either not boot up at all, or it lacked pen pressure. It would make my lines jittery, and I couldn't click anything on my toolbar half the time. I tried everything to fix it. I even tried reinstalling it from the disk I had it on, but nothing would work. That was when I realized I was multiple versions behind. As soon as I updated my CSP, all my problems were gone. It worked perfectly again. Why do I bring this up? Even if people voluntarily opt out of this update subscription, new features are not the only thing implemented. One day, computers will be very different than they are now. It's entirely possible that someday within the next few years, 1.x will simply not be compatible with your computer anymore. You'll start running into problems, and then what will you do? You will have no choice but to subscribe just to get it to work. And who knows how affordable that will be. There's not any news on what these update passes will be priced like. They literally haven't decided.
Now, I know that all sounds dramatic, and I don't know what's, in the future of this program if this goes down, but I do know my own experiences. I also know that that's one of the reasons that people like to buy from an active company. If you buy from a company that hasn't been in business in 10 years, then any bugs that you encounter, you can kind of just go, welp, can't say that I didn't expect that. But when you're buying a program like this that is rising in popularity every year and advertises itself as the industry standard, you kind of hope that any problems that you will encounter will be met with assistance. Let's say you bought the program just last week, and now you get on Twitter and find out that it's not going to be supported anymore. Let's say you bought the program last week. You bought it because all your friends use it and they say it's a great program that doesn't have any subscription fees, holds the promise of new and exciting updates, and if you have any issues with any of that, you can just ask for help. If enough people have this issue, then hopefully they'll fix it, and the probability of that happening gets higher the more time that goes on as operating systems change and update. Whether or not this is the right decision for Celsius, I think it's safe to say that some of the incentive has been lost.
Now, I know there's the argument to be had about expansion. The company is much bigger now, with bigger expectations. They likely have more employees to pay, and hopefully higher wages for all the hardworking developers over at Celsius, because they really do deserve it. But I have to ask if this is the right option. Getting rid of what made them Adobe competition, what made them worth the upgrade from free software like Metabang, Krita, and the 500 different ways you can pirate Paint Tool Sai for free. Upping the price for full releases by $5 or $10 or so seems much more reasonable, and I guarantee nobody would be that mad over it. Maybe make it easier to buy Clippy points or whatever they're called? I still can't figure out how the hell their premium currency works, but I would love to buy some of the brushes in the Clip Studio asset store. Hell, go crazy, drop merch. Adobe did it. Give me a sweater with the Clip Studio icon on it and I will wear it in the 500-degree humid Georgia summer because I am their biggest and most annoying fan. I will go door to door like a Mormon spreading the word of Clip Studio Paint, wearing the CSP drip, okay? Alright, seriously though, literally anything at this point is better than what they're planning on doing now. People are just gonna go back to Adobe or Metabang. One's got less, but at least it's free. The other's expensive, but it's got more. Clip Studio was the perfect middle ground. It was the fence, and now a lot of people are going to fall off of that fence to one side or the other. That's pretty much how I think this is gonna go if the Twitter responses to this news are anything to go by. Now, I want to be clear that I don't hate Celsius for this decision. I don't know their financial situation. But I do know that as one of their longest-standing users, I feel like I'm qualified to have a say in this. I am directly affected. I'm a college student who's already paying so much just for a chance to have a shot in the industry. I can't afford all these little subscriptions. Nitro Classic already sneaks up on me every month enough as it is. Considering I recently bought a tablet to connect to my computer, I will be canceling my subscription to Clip Studio on the iPad. I feel like this will make a point, but also leave room for the inevitable subscription I might have to pay if they go through with this idea. Art is my job, and I personally have chosen to stay on the fence, considering my 8 years of experience and reliancy on what's familiar to me. I just hope Celsius listens to the voices of those of us who care about the program and see it from the perspective of the community. Thank you everyone for listening to my rant. This is the first one, so I know it's gotta be bumpy. The editing will be bad. I probably sounded like I was out of breath for the whole thing. I don't really talk a lot verbally, but this is a topic that I care a lot about. I'm open to criticism on anything, really, and I would love to hear your thoughts on the situation. I'm open to changing my mind or seeing it from perspectives I didn't consider. Thank y'all, and have a great